In December 2013, the Cafe TA Center invited people in recovery to share their insights and experiences. These are their recovery stories.
I would like people in the community to realize that with support that recovery is possible.
People that have been diagnosed with a mental health concern are your neighbors, your friends, your teachers, and a mental health issue can come up at any time during someone's life. I believe the statistic is 1 in 4 people have been diagnosed with a mental health issue sometime in their life. So if you look around and you count 1 through 4, you're not really sure who that person might be. We all look the same.
I don't believe I really thought a lot about mental illness, mental health, until it happened to me. You know, you knew that there were people out there that were your neighbors or people you worked with, but I never gave it any thought. You know, you'd always just think, well, if someone had a mental health issue, it would be really, really obvious because those were the ones that were the people that just didn't act right. Well, that's not the way it is.
You might see me walking down the street and my mental illness may kick in. I might be confused. I might not know where I'm at, or I'm talking to myself. You might think I'm drunk, but please remember mental illness. You know, it may be you someday.
I would like for people to not be afraid of me, not be afraid of people with mental illness.
I'd like for people to know and understand that sometimes we need leniency, we need a shoulder to cry on. We're actually no different from the person that would be labeled as normal. We have bad days, we have good days.
Some people are better than others, some are worse than others, but we're all the same, we're all human. Give us a chance. Help us. Listen to us. Listen to what we have to say. You have to listen to what we have to say, because if you don't listen, you can't do anything. You can't do anything if you don't let us talk. We have to talk. We have to get it out. You have to put it out there on the table.
I think people outside the mental health community need to know that recovery is possible, just like it's possible from any other illness. I want them to know that this is something that works, and we become part of the community with them, so it's a whole. It's not us versus them. It's we do this together. They say 1 in 4 experiences mental health issues, so when you start doing the math, people need to stop and take a hard look at what's going on, because it's affecting them in some way. If it's not affecting them personally, through family and friends, and how would they want their family and friends to be treated?
I would like them to know that everybody is at different stages of their recovery. Some people don't even accept that they're even in recovery most of the time.
There are many paths to recovery, and even though folks may have eccentric or odd behaviors, they can still be in recovery. I think that there needs to be an openness and a dialogue. Folks may have struggles, they may have difficulties, but that doesn't mean they can't get beyond those.
I would like them, for one, to know about, to get a clear understanding on really what recovery is all about, because some people feel like recovery is from addiction. Recovery is not only for addiction. You can recover from medication and all different type of things.
That there's a different way to handle people that have an illness, not the perception that they need to be locked up.
I would like for them to know that just because somebody's diagnosed doesn't mean that they're not smart, that they don't have talent, that they're not all violent.
What I would like people outside of the mental health community to know about recovery is that it's real. A lot of times people outside of the mental health community
can't identify because they're not going through it themselves. A lot of times people think that you're putting on about your problem or how you're feeling, and it's not. It's truly a chemical imbalance of the brain. And when you're reaching out, people outside of the mental health community should be mindful to just listen. Everybody needs love. Everybody needs to be accepted. People have come from hard places, being homeless, being molested, being raised by parents on drugs. Everybody has a story. We don't know anyone's story, but it's just being mindful and listening.
I think the most important thing from my perspective for people outside of our community to know is that recovery is possible. That I think one of the important things to share with a person or a family member in the very beginning, especially young people, is to provide hope on that first encounter. That this medical condition that you have is not a death sentence.
People outside should know that this isn't just some facade, like we're just putting on a show. Like, this is actually happening. There's actually hope for us. It's not just a one-way street that we're forever meds, and of course that's a part of it, but we're not just something to dump aside.
There is hope for us. You know, we're regular people. I'm going to do everything that I can do to help others, to let them know that there is a such thing as recovery, and recovery can happen.
For more information, visit cafeTAcenter.net.